Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dati Swapadantikam. Hey Krishna Karna Sindhu Din Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantha Radha Kantha Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanuste Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So text number 41, who all revised? You can raise your hand. That was the homework, right? Text 41 revision, memorization.
Yeah.
Yes, Master.
Okay, who memorized? You can raise your hand or unmute. Vidisha Mataji, go ahead, please.
Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekah kuru nandana bahushaka he anantasya buddhiyo vyavasaye mina. If I'm
Very nice.
Okay.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Who else? Yeah, you can raise your hand, or if you're a co-host and you can't raise your hand, and you can. Okay, Rekha Sudhir Mataji, please go ahead.
सात्मिका बुद्धिर एकेहा करु नंदना बहुशाखाये अनंतस्य बुद्धयो व्यवसायिमान.
Very nice,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, Mataji.
Also memorized with you?
Yes, Mataji.
Did they also memorize with you? Your babies?
No, Mataji, she has not learned this. She knows the before verses.
Okay. I guess that's a good company to memorize. Anybody else? You can unmute yourself also if you don't know how to raise your hand. Nobody else.
Can I say, Mataji?
Mataji, even I have memorized.
Yes. Now, 1 second. Yes, Usha Mataji, please go ahead.
Evasayamika buddhirekaha karunanandana bahu enanta buddhiya vyavasa vinayinam. Not very good, sir. Not good at all. Sorry.
Thank you so much. Avyavasai.
I tried it.
Very nice.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Sorry to disturb.
No, go ahead, Mataji.
She wants to sing the Panchatattva Mahamantra. She has learnt it.
Very nice.
Yes.
What is your name?
Her name is Akanksha.
Akanksha. Yes. Hare Krishna.
Say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityan Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadaiva Gaura Bhaktivedanta.
Hare Krishna.
Say Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
So nice. So nice. Thank you so much. It's like so innocent, right? Okay, Sapna, go ahead.
Yes, Mataji. And Mataji, you have made me a co-host.
Yeah, you are host.
Okay. Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekeha kuru nandana bahushakahyanantascha buddhayo avavyavasayinam.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Anybody else? You can unmute if you
Can I try?
Yes, Sumati Mataji. Please go ahead.
Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekeha kuru nandana bahushakahyanantascha buddhayo vyavasayinam.
Thank you, Mataji. So I'm that you all are saying Vyavasayinam. You're changing the meaning.
Avyavasayina.
Avyavasayinam, Mataji. But I thought
Avyavasayina.
together when you recited, I thought we don't pronounce that A when there is an apostrophe on top.
That's A.
Yeah, it is but I thought maybe we don't specifically say that.
I've heard this from other devotees. You're not the first person to tell me. But when you're reading in the Sanskrit, not the English, but when you're reading in the Sanskrit, this is a. This is a in Sanskrit that I've highlighted.
Meaning changes, right?
Yeah, a means not in Sanskrit,
Thank you.
not in Krishna consciousness. Thank you. Okay, nobody else? Okay, you can. Yes, Prabhu, go ahead, please.
व्यवसायित्मिका बुद्धिर् एके गुरु कुरुनन्दन बहुशाखाह्य अनन्ताश्च बुद्ध्यो अव्यवसायिनौ.
So nice.
Hari Bol, Prabhu.
Can hear you long and all night long.
Thank you.
So nice. Prabhu, please record and share with us.
Yeah,
That's
sure. Thanks. I do it.
Say behind me, please. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Reading chapter 2, observing the armies in the battlefield. What did we do last time? 38 to 42. Is that what we do? Or 41? What did
41,
we do?
Mataji.
41,
Till 41.
So thank you so much. So 38, Krishna starts answering the doubt of Arjuna about sinful reaction. He says that it is sinful to kill the elders of the family, and he's saying that that's what basically he's addressing in all these verses. So 38 verse, he says that sinful or not, gain or not, loss or not, it is your duty to fight. So he touches upon the fact of the duty of a Kshatriya. And I think we spoke about Swadharma here, or Swadharma was the last week. I guess it was last week. So or maybe 59. Let's see. So the duty takes preference over thing because it is a prescribed duty. It's sinful when it is not a prescribed duty and one does it. That's called vikarma. Vikarma is sinful. Karma is not necessarily, if it is prescribed in the books of knowledge and one does it activity, actually it is a sacrifice that we study in 3rd chapter. That sacrifice is written in the codes of scriptures according to one's varna and ashrama. So do it. And 39, Krishna talks about that. So far I have been telling you about the Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya philosophy means analysis, something describing in detail, a phenomena which is described in great detail. That the knowledge of the soul is described in great detail by Krishna. That soul is sitting in the heart. Soul is 1/10,000th part of the tip of a hair. Soul is not burnt, cut, or withered, or soul cannot be killed. Soul stays, body dies. Soul takes on another body when the body is no more able to keep it. All those things. So it's analysis in detail, analyzing. But the Sankhya philosophy also becomes a Sankhya yoga because one ultimately following the Sankhya philosophy ends at the lotus feet of Krishna. Because the ultimate question is, where is it coming from? Where is the soul coming from? So the base of Sankhya philosophy is Krishna consciousness. That is why it is also one of the schools of bhakti. So basically in this verse we studied that Sankhya and Bhakti, Sankhya Yoga and Bhakti Yoga are one and the same. And now Krishna is telling that how you can work and you can also achieve the bhakti. One is you can achieve bhakti by analyzing. And another is you can achieve bhakti by karma, by doing work. But work in such a way that you don't get entangled, Arjuna. You don't get get reaction, good or bad. So that is also bhakti. There are different ways of culminating in bhakti. Okay, so there is Sankhya. Sankhya means analytical description of the body and soul, but they are all bhakti yoga. Why Sankhya yoga also bhakti yoga? I explained to you because bhakti yoga, it ends in the fundamental question. Okay, soul is this, soul is that, soul is this, but where is it coming from? So if somebody is sincere, they'll end up with Krishna. Buddhi yoga is therefore transcendental quality of the term of the work that we perform. So ultimately, if we are going to Krishna, some people want to surrender to Krishna in this way. Krishna is fine. But what Krishna wants is work. He does not, he may give jnana, he may give, Ashtanga yoga, he may tell how to perform a meditation perfectly. But he does not give service very easily. He does not give devotional service because devotional service is, there are 6 qualities of a devotional service described in Bhaktivedanta Sindhu, chapter 2 or 3, one of the 2 chapters. 6 qualities are described. And one of the fourth quality of devotional service is rarely achieved. Devotional service gives immediate reliefs from the material sufferings. That's the first. And the fourth I remember is devotional service is rarely achieved. So it's not so easy to come to the platform of serving Krishna. If it was not for Srila Prabhupada, we would have never found out how to serve Krishna. Srila Prabhupada said, begin from tongue, serve Krishna from tongue. Sevanmukhehi jivadu, swayam eva surate ada. So looking at Krishna or God through tongue, yes, there are 2 functions of the tongue, chant and eat, vibrate and taste. So begins from there, but that is also so difficult for some of the people. Why? Because devotion service is rarely achieved. It's not so easy. It is not. Prabhupada said there are so many stars in the sky, but there is only one moon. Similarly, the people will not be able to take up chanting Hare Krishna. I was thinking yesterday, the heaviest thing that one could have ever lifted in their entire life is the chanting bag. That's the heaviest thing. In the beginning, it is the heaviest thing. There will be so many reasons for a living entity not to pick it up because it's so heavy. It's carrying the burden of so many things from life after life. But once one picks it up, then they cannot, then it becomes, transforms their life. So just think about it. The heaviest thing anyone can ever lift in their life is the chanting bag. It's not gonna happen. Even if they may become scholar in Vedic knowledge, or Prabodhananda Saraswati. Prabodhananda Saraswati used to tell Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you are a sannyasi. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas from a Mayavadi sannyasi. So Prabodhananda Saraswati was the head of Mayavad sannyasis at that time. So, but Mahaprabhu was always chanting and dancing. So Prabodhananda Saraswati got the report that this sannyasi is chanting and dancing and he's not studying the Vedanta. He's not studied Vedanta. So he called upon Mahaprabhu and he said, why are you not studying the Vedanta? You are a sannyasi, that is your function. And why are you chanting and dancing all the time? So Mahaprabhu said, my spiritual master saw me as a fool. So he gave me the order just to chant. Now Mahaprabhu was not a fool. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we only have 8 stanzas left behind by him. Chaitodarpana Marjanam, the Sikshashtakam. Each and every stanza we read, it is, you cannot, a human being cannot make such kind of things. It looks very ordinary because it is so easily available because of the mercy of the acharyas, but it is not ordinary. If it is understood from the spiritual master, what it really means. Like, for example, first verse, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam, Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaran, Vidyavadu Jivanam, Anandambudi Vardhanam, Pratipadam, Purnamrita Swadanam, Sarvatma Snapanam, Param Vijayate, Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. We can translate, but it has 7 benedictions. 7 blessings are there embedded in this. Now, who will explain? The translation does not talk about it. Who will explain the intricacies? And the Sikshashtakam, the 8 verses, first 2 verses are Hare Krishna, then Hare Krishna, then Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, like that. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, Hare Krishna, first verse. All these details, who will open up to us if it was not for the acharyas and spiritual master? But we will not take it. I don't understand why, but it's amazing. It's amazing that so many doubts will cloud the consciousness. So many people will memorize Bhagavad Gita, all 700 verses, but they will not pick up the chanting bag. So that memorization is a mechanical thing, like a parrot memorization. Because realization should culminate in the service. And the service begins from tongue. And what is this tongue service? Taste and chant. Okay, so this is a verse that you all memorize. Thank you, whoever did it. So Neha, oh no, this is not the one. Neha Bhikrama Nasho Asti Pratyavo Na Vidyate Sarpam Api Asya Dharmasya Traite Mahato Bhayat. So even a little endeavor in this path saves one from the most dangerous type of fear. And the most dangerous type of fear is to forget Krishna. To enter into a body next life that I may forget Krishna, or even in this life. And this is what we, some of you recited, that you are indecided because your intelligence is multi-branched. You're thinking that you'll be able to save your relatives by not save your relatives from the clutches of death by avoiding to fight. That is not going to happen. So strong faith in Krishna consciousness, one should be elevated to this perfection of light, is called Vivasatmika intelligence. When you memorize verses, try to memorize translation also. Or do either one of the two, because some people just can't memorize. So that's fine, just memorize the translation then. Or if you can, then memorize both. Okay, so Vivasatmika buddhi is needed. Means fixed. And how does one get fixed in Krishna consciousness? Okay, one can get fixed if someone has a very big sukriti. Like yesterday in the ladies' class, one Mataji, she said she attended one round of Understand Gita in 18 days. Now in 18 days only, she's chanting 16 rounds. She's following trying to follow all regulative principles. She's enjoying it. I was surprised that just by attending one round of 18 days, 16 rounds, I mean, it's rare. It's rare. Someone may pick up some number of rounds, but directly 16 rounds. So some Sukriti is there. She has some Sukriti from past lives that she does not have doubt. She's completely like Krishna gave her intelligence. Krishna says in later chapters that whatever in chapter 6, if someone is not able to complete the devotional service, then then Krishna saves whatever they have done in whatever lifetime, and the person starts from that percentage. Let's say somebody finished 1%, then in the next life the person starts from 2%. 1% is saved. So like that we accumulate, and whoever has accumulated more will have less doubts. Okay, Vidisha Mataji, you want to read 42, 43?
Mataji, I have a question. Can I ask regarding the verse number 41? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
I was just thinking when Lord Krishna said ki Ekaha Kuru Nandana and Bahushakha, what did he mean by that? He wanted Arjuna to fight. That is Ekaha, that is single-minded. And Bahushakha means he should not be thinking like about that is where the confusion I am having. The Bahushaka, in the sense he is talking him not to think about the body and all those.
So this is the answer to the doubts of indecision. In 6th verse of this chapter, Arjuna says, I neither
Okay.
division better. So these are two, Mataji, first two are same and the last two are same. So Vyavasaya Buddhir Ekehe Kurunandana is same. Like whoever has a resolute determination in Krishna consciousness, their aim is one.
Okay.
Shakha means branch of a tree. So Bahu means many. So what it means is the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. So means that somebody is not convinced about that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Krishna's words are final instructions. They will doubt. They will say, okay, maybe I may not fight. Maybe Krishna is not looking at the viewpoint of what I'm trying to say. Maybe Krishna is not capable. Maybe Krishna is not strong enough to give me the support from this release of sinful reaction. So this maybe is whatever maybe is a list of maybes. Maybe Krishna consciousness is one of the many paths to reach to Krishna. Maybe when I worship any demigod, I will be reaching the same way. Don't you hear all these things? So intelligence is chopped. Maybe this, maybe that, maybe that, maybe that. Collect. Only one. Ekehe Kurunandana. One. The aim is only one. And what is the aim? To reach Krishna consciousness. And how do you do it? By following Krishna's word. Period. Nothing else.
Thank you,
So that's
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Did you understand what I said, or you're just saying thank you for making me happy?
No. I understood because you said that this is an actually answer to Arjuna's indecision, where he had a lot of problems. So this is where he said that you should be single-minded. If you're Krishna conscious, you should follow the regulative things, and if you have lot of other whatever problems he had, we should not be dwelling on the doubts on Sri Krishna. That is what I understood. Am I correct?
Yes. So yes, and the verse is 2.6 where he's undecided.
Okay. Hare
Yes.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Mataji,
Yes.
on this unflinching faith in devotion,
Yes.
I recollect the story of Valmiki. Valmiki was a hunter to begin with. He went on to hunt a bird. He killed it, and at that time Narada Muni appears before him.
Yes.
And prevails upon him to give up hunting and start chanting the mantra, Rama, and do tapas to attain to attain the path of God. So he takes it in all the true sense, and he starts the tapas, and perhaps he did it for 1,000 years. His whole body was covered by a mountain of ant mound, and still he was chanting Rama, Rama, Rama. But to begin with, he even forgot it was Rama. He started chanting Mara. Mara, Mara became Rama. And he had so much faith in what Narada Muni asked him to do. He realizes Rama, and he never learned any scripture or any such thing. He had unflinching faith in what his Guruji, Narada Muni in this case, has asked him to do it. So I think in this case, the insistence of a Guru comes into play. Unless you are guided by a right Guru, you will not gain any thing towards your devotion or devotional service. Is what I wanted to say.
Right. Right. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
There's a verse, Brahmanda Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jeev. Guru Krishna Kripaye Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. Brahmanda Brahmite means living entity roaming around in the universe. Kono Bhagyavanji, one fortunate soul gets the Guru Krishna Kripaya Pai Bhakti Lata Bij, gets the mercy of Guru and Krishna. There are so many souls roaming around. Brahmanda Brahmite. They're roaming around the universe. Upper planet, lower planet, this body, that body, going around. One soul will get the fortune. Kono Bhagyavanji, Guru Krishna Kripaya Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. That living entity will be so fortunate to get the seed of devotional creeper, the seed of devotional service. Bhakti Lata Bij, seed of devotional service. So it is not common. The person is very, very fortunate who is under the shelter of a spiritual master. According to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Then he goes on to say how we have to take care of that beach and make it into a creeper and make it so strong that it goes on. The creeper goes so tall that it reaches the Goloka of Vrindavan and the person lands up there. So it's rare. It's amazing that we are. ISKCON is a worldwide organization, and we are preaching the same thing. Whatever you're studying here, you will hear the same thing if you go to the temple. Same. There will be no change. Still, if 100 people come in, maybe one will get convinced. Maybe. So you're very fortunate if you are somehow relishing the nectar.
Maybe, what did you say?
And will get convinced about the Krishna consciousness.
Yeah.
Okay. Sumati Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna, yes, Mataji.
Go ahead, Mataji.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Yam imam pushpitam vacham pravadantya vipaschitaha veda vadaratah partha nanyad asti vadinaha kamatmana swargapara janma karma falapradam kriya vishesha bahulam okaishvarya gatim prati. Translation: Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. Purport by His Grace Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. People Mataji?
I was saying, Jay, you go to temple, Mataji. I can make out you are associating with devotees, huh?
Yes, Mataji. Fortunate.
Okay, go ahead, Mataji.
People in general are not very intelligent, and due to their ignorance, they are most attached to the fruitive activities recommended in the Karma Kanda portions of the Vedas. They do not want anything more than sense gratificatory proposals for enjoying life in heaven, where wine and women are available and material opulence is very common. In the Vedas, many sacrifices are recommended for elevation to the heavenly planets, especially the Jyotish Toma sacrifices. In fact, it is stated that anyone desiring elevation to heavenly planets must perform these sacrifices, and men with a poor fund of knowledge think that this is the whole purpose of Vedic wisdom. It is very difficult for such inexperienced persons to be situated in the determined action of Krishna consciousness. As fools are attached to the flowers of poisonous trees without knowing the results of such attractions, similarly, unenlightened men are attracted by such heavenly opulence and the sense enjoyment thereof. In the Karma Kanda section of the Vedas, it is said that those who perform the 4 monthly penances become eligible to drink the Somarasa beverages to become immortal and happy forever. Even on this earth, some are very eager to have Somarasa to become strong and fit to enjoy sense gratifications. Such persons have no faith in liberation from material bondage, and they are very much attached to the pompous ceremonies of Vedic sacrifices. They are generally sensual, and they do not want anything other than the heavenly pleasures of life. It is understood that there are gardens called Nandana Kanana, in which there is good opportunity for association with angelic, beautiful women and having a profuse supply of Somarasa wine. Such bodily happiness is certainly sensual. Therefore, there are those who are purely attached to material, temporary happiness as lords of the material world. Hare Krishna.
So we are talking about the sinful reaction, and there may be stuff that there may be doubt in Arjuna's mind that Krishna is saying all this from his lotus mouth. But what about the Vedas? What the Vedas say? So now Krishna is going to spend some time referring to what the Vedas say. The Vedic knowledge is very, very flowery. People who generally are called as Vedavadrata. This Vedavadrata means knowers. They say that they are knowers or followers of Vedas. He's supposed followers of the Vedas is Vedavadrata. They they don't find Krishna only. Krishna is hidden. Even though Krishna says in 15th chapter, Vedeshcha sarver ahameva vedya. The ultimate purpose of understanding all the Vedas is to know me. But they cannot find Krishna. Why? They say we are very much, very much accustomed to reading the Vedas every day. But they come to the conclusion that God is a power. God is energy. Some hazy mental speculation. This typically happens if somebody is not in a bona fide disciplic succession. Because a bona fide disciplic succession will bring person back. No, God is a person, supreme person. And we have a relationship with that person. Sambandha, Abhidya, Prayojan. So Vedanta Sutra, the summary of the Vedas. This is very interesting, Sutra. So everywhere in the world, have you all heard of the word called coding? Are your children also like being like absorbed in learning coding everywhere? Coding, computer coding.
Yes, Mataji.
Right. So coding. So thank you, Mataji. People think that coding has started in now 21st century, but foolish because I heard Srila Prabhupada slashes everything. Just hear Prabhupada. Just make sure you hear Prabhupada every day of your life. The Prabhupada said sutra. So sutra means that there is aphorism. Okay, and the aphorism means that under that's a coded language. Under that code is so many other things. Like Prabhupada said, Vedanta Sutra, Brahma Athata Brahma Jigyasa. This is a sutra. Means it's a coded language. That means that therefore talk about, inquire about the Brahman. Athata Brahma Jigyasa. But under that is the whole Srimad Bhagavatam. 18,000 verses are enclosed in this small aphorism of Vedanta, of Vedanta Sutra. The sutra means summary, or sutra means coded language. So 18,000 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam under one Vedanta Sutra, Adhata Brahma Jigyasa. Now inquire who you are. So nothing is new. This is a real code. We are just copying some. I have a friend, she's a devotee, she's very nice, she's a very good friend of mine. I went to her house one day and she was teaching that I must teach my children how to code. And she did some coding. She's artificial intelligence and computer science teacher. And she did something and the lights lit up saying welcome or something like that. She said, see, these lights are lighting up because of the coding. I said, oh my God, you do so much coding and then to just bring up the word welcome, I can just write it with my hand. So people are very much attached to the flowery language of the Vedas. Very, very attached. Why are they attached? Because they are ignorance. Why are they in ignorance? Because they have material desire. The material desire is covering up that I want to enjoy. I want to be the enjoyer. I want to drink the somaras. I want the heavenly pleasures. I want to sleep on a nice cushioned bed with luxurious bed sheets on it. I want to dress up in very nice and expensive clothing. I want to be associated with very, very elevated persons and very, very beautiful women. So where is Krishna here? Okay, so that person will not. That's what Prabhupada is saying. Men with poor fund of knowledge think that the whole purpose of the Vedic wisdom is to desire elevation to heavenly planets. It is very difficult for inexperienced person to be situated in determined action of Krishna consciousness. Determined action of Krishna consciousness. I'm telling you, the heaviest thing you'll ever lift is your feedback. Because it takes a lot of determination and crossing over a lot of impersonalism to pick up the chanting bag and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Generally, impersonalism or desire to enjoy or Vedic getting lost in the language of the Vedas will not give a power to the hands of a person to pick up that feedback. So no faith in liberation from material bondage. They don't want, because where is the liberation from the material bondage? Even if somebody is going to the heavenly planets, it is still in the universe of the material world, right? It is not spiritual planet. They still have to come back. Can we go down? Can we read now? Next one. Bidisha Mataji, your hand is raised. You want to read?
I can read. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Krishna.
Okay. Bhogaishwarya prashaktanam tatya pritha chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhiha samadhau na vidhiyate. Translation: in the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination of devotional service to Supreme Lord does not take place. Purport: Samadhi means fixed mind. The Vedic dictionary, the Nirukti, says Samaya adhiyate asmin atma tattva yathamyam. When the mind is fixed for understanding the self, it is called samadhi. Samadhi is never possible for persons interested in material sense enjoyment, nor for those who are bewildered by such temporary things. They are more or less condemned by the process of material energy. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. So people talk about meditation and going in samadhi, but what is the meaning of the word samadhi? This is the meaning of the word samadhi. When the mind is fixed for understanding the self. So mind is a very powerful weapon. If it is fixed. Actually, if you hear Prabhupada's lecture, I think it's verse 31. 3rd canto, 26th chapter, verse 31. But I'll double check. Maybe it's 26. I'll double check. So Aniruddha, the deity of the mind is Aniruddha. The form of Krishna, which is controlling the mind of a living entity, is called as Aniruddha. And Prabhupada was describing the form of Aniruddha. And Prabhupada was describing that why at all a mind is restless. Because we are not attaching it to the object of meditation. We're not giving the mind the object of its meditation. We are giving mind something this, something that. I think I gave example. A very famous example Prabhupada gives is there's a small baby and the baby is crying. And people surrounding the baby are trying to pacify the child by giving him milk, by giving him toys, by rocking him, by taking him out, by trying to put him to bed, by trying to see if the diaper is dirty, or by singing lullabies or playing lullabies, so many things. But child is crying, 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 but they are trying. But immediately the mother comes, okay, what is going on? Come here. So the child goes to baby, stops crying. So like that, the mind is, we are giving mind this, we are giving mind that, we are giving mind this, but we are not giving it really the object, what it is hankering. What is its real object of meditation? The real object of meditation of Krishna is Krishna. When one starts chanting Hare Krishna, the biggest thing is that we inattention, right? That's what we hear, that it's very difficult to chant Hare Krishna because mind goes here, mind goes there. That's because so many lifetimes we have not given the mind what it needs. So it needs time now to settle down. neither are we chanting so purely. If somebody is chanting purely, then that's a different thing. That is why we need acharyas in our life. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen if it is not under the shelter of the acharya. Because the mind is restless, obstinate, and very strong. This is a very nice definition of samadhi. Please memorize. Samyak aditya asmin atma tattva yathatmayam. Mataji, you are raising your hand. Sapna wants to read. She wrote to me. Is it okay if Sapna reads? Anvaya Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, I have a question.
Yeah.
In 2.42, 2.43, that Vedas, you said, no, they recommend only the fruitive activities. So I just want to ask, but Vedas also, like I have read, they say in describing the glories of Krishna or the Supreme Personality, they say that how much ever you describe him, you cannot describe him. There's a word, neti, neti, neti. He's not like this, he's not like this, he's not like this. So then how this thing particular is there?
I don't think I understood your question.
Because this also everywhere, like the shesh also on which Narayana is there, the shesh with his 1,000 tongues also cannot describe the glories of Narayana, or it's like that. So I don't know, this, it's becoming like Vedas also sing glories of Krishna as per what I.
They do. That is the whole purpose of the Vedas. Krishna says, right, the 15th verse, Vedeshta sarver ahameva vedya. The study, the reason of studying, and we are coming to it, Mataji. The next verse, that actually the Vedic knowledge is about talking establishing one's relationship with Krishna. This particular verse is all about what you're telling me, 46.
Okay.
But Vedas also deal with Karma Kand section. Like Mataji, you read Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam has no Karma Kand section. There is no mention that somebody worship God and there is a Karma Kand section in the Vedas. Mataji, you can unmute yourself. Anvaya Mataji. So Vedas do have Krishna's glories, but the mind of those who are very much attached to the material enjoyment, Vedas offer that also, which we will study in this verse. If you can just wait.
Okay, Mataji.
When they study the Karma Kand section of the Vedas, they get stuck there because there is a remedy for the immediate problem. People are not ready to fix the ultimate problem of birth, death, old age, disease. So it does offer distraction as well. That's what he's saying.
Mataji, can I say something on this?
Yes, Prabhu.
Vedas also, as you said, describe about Karma Kanda. And here I am reminded of these erotic sculptures in some of our temples. For instance, Khajuraho, or the Sun Temple in Orissa. And similarly, there are many other temples spread over the country depicting eroticism in the outer prakaras of the temple. So this is just to, so if someone visits these temples and have his senses concentrated towards only these erotic sculptures depicting Kama Sutra, which is also there in Vedic Karma Kanda, he is misled, because the intention is you go up to this, these are the temptations, and you are supposed to conquer these temptations, to go beyond and to have and to try for attaining consciousness of God, godliness. That is the thing. Because if you stop visiting only the outer prakarams without going into the sanctum sanctorum where the deity resides and devote, you lose everything. That is the purpose.
Right.
Thank
Thank you. Right. The Vedas were misunderstood when Lord Buddha incarnation was going to come, right? People were right and left killing animals, thinking that Vedic language says that animal sacrifice is recommended. Like as Prabhu is saying, that animal sacrifice is recommended only if someone can chant the mantras properly and give that animal a human form of life immediately. But not, but people were using that, taking the leverage of that statement and killing animals, and that is called upadharma, and justifying their killing. So Lord Buddha came and established Nirvana theory. No Vedas. There are no Vedas. Everything is Shunyavadi. Everything is zero. Okay, so Vedas can mislead if not understood properly. Sapna, go ahead, read.
Mataji, I have a doubt, Mataji.
Yes.
In order to get rid of material attractions, for those we have to chant more and more Mahamantras, no Mataji, Hare Krishna Mahamantras, or there is some other solution for that?
Do you think?
No, Mataji, I don't think so.
Well, we will be able to get rid of the attraction if we are not getting attracted to something higher. We'll never be able to. I remember when I joined ISKCON, I had not joined, but January 2002. Okay, so I didn't start with 16 rounds. I started like, okay, 4 rounds, 5 rounds. But by March, I was chanting 16 rounds. And then came the Damodar month. So Damodar month, Damodareswara Prabhu gave us the Damodar Ashtakam and said in the evening we will do this. So I had no idea what is this Damodar Ashtakam and what are we going to do. And he's very intelligent. He gave us the photograph of Krishna also. So he said, whenever you have time, you memorize this Damodar Ashtakam and sing it to Krishna. When I was traveling in the bus, the local bus, I somehow used to carry that paper and carry the photograph of Krishna in my bag. So I was memorizing because I really loved the devotees. Their lifestyle was amazing. So, and I would look at the picture of Krishna. So looking, whole month I was traveling in the bus to go to another hospital for rotation. Every day I was looking. And one day I got, my God, Krishna is so beautiful. It doesn't happen at this one go, or maybe if somebody is very pious, it will happen that they are immediately attracted to the form of the deity. And I could make out when I would lift my head and look here and look there, everybody would start looking dull. I don't know, because Krishna was looking very beautiful, and then Sapna, unless and until you're attracted to Krishna, other attractions are not going to just go away just by you wanting them to go away. It's not going to go away. That is why devotional service is needed. So you need to, yes, chanting Hare Krishna is begging Krishna to engage us in his service. Chanting Hare Krishna is, oh Krishna, oh energy of Krishna, please engage me in your service. That is the meaning of the mantra. So when we are really chanting, then the service comes. So whoever you see around you, if they are engaged in some service to Krishna directly under the shelter of a spiritual master, it means their chanting is nice. They're chanting properly. Krishna heard it. See, Namanisha Prabhu started all this worldwide movement, and we are number 1 in the world right now. Who knew 5 people living in the temple, in a rented temple, not even a owned building, will start a worldwide movement? It just means the chanting is at least at the Namabhas platform. So yes, chanting we have to do, but ultimately the chanting has to be done in a manner that Krishna becomes pleased and gives service. Service is needed. Active engagement. Now, actually, it is very simple. Material attraction. We are working, right? Where somebody gets attracted to watching some particular show, so they are working. They are hunting. They're waiting for the show. They turn on the TV. They make sure they have everything. They make sure they have a place to sit. They make sure that the time is, they are not doing anything else at that time because their particular show is going to come on. Why? Because they want to be engaged in that particular service. Because they're attracted. There's an attraction. Like that, a devotee does the same thing. We make sure that a devotee make sure I have time to chant, make sure that I am able to chant properly, make sure that I'm able to do the deity worship, make sure that I'm able to read and talk about Krishna. Same thing, but Krishna. Why? Because the attraction is so much. Okay, you have to get attracted to Krishna. Then everything will be okay.
Okay, Mataji.
You?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll chant Mataji. I'll just read the shlokas. यावानर्थ उद्भवाने सर्वतः संप्लुतोदके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः. Translation: all purposes that are served by the small pond can at once be served by the great reservoirs of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. Purport: the rituals and sacrifices mentioned in the Karma Kanda divisions of the Vedic literature are to encourage gradual development of self-realization. And the purpose of self-realization is clearly stated in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The purpose of studying the Vedas is to know Lord Krishna, the primeval cause of everything. So, self-realization means understanding Krishna and one's eternal relationship with him. The relationship of the living entities with Krishna is also mentioned in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The living entities are parts and parcels of Krishna. Therefore, revival of Krishna consciousness by the individual living entity is the highest perfectional stage of Vedic knowledge. This is confirmed in the Srimad Bhagavatam as follows. Aho bata aswapachot atho gariyan yaj jihvagre vartate nama tubhyam. Tepus tapas te juhu sasnur arya brahmanuchur nama grihnanti yete. O my Lord, a person who is chanting your holy name, although born of a low family like that of a Chandala, dog eater, is situated on the highest platform of self-realization. Such a person must have performed all kinds of penances and sacrifices according to Vedic rituals and studied the Vedic literatures many times after taking his bath in all the holy places of pilgrimage. Such a person is considered to be the best of Aryan family. So one must be intelligent enough to understand the purpose of the Vedas without being attached to the rituals only, and must not desire to be elevated to the heavenly kingdoms for a better quality of sense gratification. It is not possible for the common man in this age to follow all the rules and regulation of the Vedic rituals and the injunctions of Vedantas and the Upanishads. It requires much time, energy, knowledge, and resources to execute the purpose of the Vedas. This is hardly possible in this age. The best purpose of Vedic culture is served, however, by chanting the holy name of the Lord as recommended by the Lord Chaitanya, the deliverer of all fallen souls. When Lord Chaitanya was asked by a great Vedic scholar, Prakashananda Saraswati, why he, the Lord, was chanting the holy name of the Lord like a sentimentalist instead of studying Vedanta philosophy. The Lord replied that his spiritual master found him to be a great fool, and thus he asked him to chant the holy name of Lord Krishna. He did so and became ecstatic like a madman. In this age of Kali, most of the population is foolish and not adequately educated to understand Vedanta philosophy. The best purpose of Vedanta philosophy is served by inoffensively chanting the holy name of the Lord. Vedanta is the last word in Vedic wisdom, and the author and knower of the Vedanta philosophy is Lord Krishna. And the highest Vedantist is the great soul who takes pleasure in chanting the holy name of the Lord. That is the ultimate purpose of all Vedic mysticism. Hare
I am messages that we missed 2.45. Okay, thank you, Sapna. So let's go back to 2.45. I apologize. This is my overlook. So who would, Anvya Mataji, would you like to read, please, 2.45? And then we'll come
Yes,
to
Mataji. Hare Krishna. त्रैगुण्य विषया वेदा निस्त्रय गुणो भवार्जुना निर्द्वन्द्वो नित्यसत्त्वस्थो निर्योगक्षेम आत्मवान्. Translation. The Vedas mainly deal with the subject of the three modes of material nature. Rise above these modes, O Arjuna. Be transcendental to all of them. Be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. Purport. All material activities involve actions and reactions in the three modes of material nature. They are meant for fruitive results which cause bondage in the material world. The Vedas deal mostly with fruitive activities to gradually elevate the general public from the field of sense gratification to a position of 1 minute, Mataji. To a position on the transcendental plane. Arjuna, as a student and friend of Lord Krishna, is advised to raise himself to the transcendental position of Vedanta philosophy, where in the beginning there is Brahma Jidnyasa, or questions on the supreme transcendence. All living entities who are in the material world are struggling very hard for existence. For them, the Lord, after creation of the material world, gave the Vedic wisdom, advising how to live and get rid of the material entanglement. When the activities for sense gratification, namely the Karmakand chapter, are finished, then the chance for spiritual realization is offered in the form of Upanishads, which are the different which are part of different Vedas, as the Bhagavad Gita is the part of the fifth Veda, namely Mahabharata. The Upanishads mark the beginning of transcendental life. As long as the material body exists, there are actions and reactions in the material modes. One has to learn tolerance in the face of dualities such as happiness and distress, or cold and warmth, and by tolerating such dualities become free from anxieties regarding gain and loss. This transcendental position is achieved in full Krishna consciousness when one is fully dependent on the goodwill of Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So, I'm sorry I missed this verse and we went to 46. Anyway, so Krishna is saying that the language of the Vedas is very flowery. There is a chance that somebody can get just lost in the Karmakand section. And Vedas are dealing mainly with the subject of three modes of material nature. Why? Because Krishna wants everyone back. If somebody is in the mode of ignorance, mode of passion, mode of goodness, it's available. Vyasdev has written all the Vedas for different people in different modes of nature, how they can gradually come to Krishna consciousness. They're meant for fruitive. So slowly, by studying the Vedas, one comes to the level of self-realization. That's the main aim, right? Then dharma leads to artha. Artha leads to dharma, artha, kama, and the moksha. So this is all a hierarchy given in the Vedas. It's not that we begin with artha. No, we don't begin with the money. Dharma is first. Religious activity is always first, and by executing the religious activities, one comes to artha. One gets their desires, material desires fulfilled. That's karmakand. So that's artha leads to kama. Kama means material fulfillment of the material desires. And when somebody is fed up, then they go to moksha. But Krishna says directly go above that. There's nishtray gunya bhavajuna. Just forget about this dharma, artha, kama, moksha cycle. They are for people who are in modes of material nature. I want you to directly come out of it and be established in the self. even beyond moksha, beyond liberation is service to Krishna. That's what he's saying. And when somebody is established, I am not saying that this is a goal. That's a goal for human life. That's what he's saying. Then one has to learn to tolerate the face of duality, such as happiness, distress, cold, warm, because these things are going to be there always. It is going to be there. We cannot really. The problem is in the beginning of Krishna consciousness, one thinks. When somebody takes to Krishna consciousness, one thinks that they will get immediately relief from all the sufferings. It is true. Pure devotional service gives immediate relief from the material sufferings. Pure devotional service. But if somebody is not getting a relief, the problem is not with the devotional service. The problem is with my purity. It just means that I am not executing pure devotional service. So until unless the devotional service becomes pure, we have to learn to tolerate. Cannot. Somebody insults. Every day, everyone is tolerating something or the other. Especially in today's world where there's so much of loss. There's so much loss. There's so much anxiety everywhere. It looks like, people want to talk to each other and the beginning of the conversation is from a problem. It's like, how many COVID cases are there? If my family calls me, the beginning is, are you seeing COVID patients? Are you taking precautions? You see, I feel like the beginning is they have to start with a problem. Why? Because of the anxiety. There's so much anxiety. But a person in Krishna consciousness will say that, okay, I have to do, what can I do in this? It's what is my role in this, and how can I increase my tolerance? That's what I was telling. The tolerance is such a dynamic quality that we can go on working on it for the rest of our lives, and we'll still not come to the end. Now I have tolerated enough. It's nothing like that. In the execution of Krishna consciousness. So tolerance is one of my favorite topics. But I just want to tell you that Krishna is saying here that Vedic knowledge basically deals with three modes of material nature. And it does offer fruitive activities. People get entangled. Generally, people are performing Vedic sacrifices to fulfill some material desire. Why? End of the Vedas is Krishna, as we studied in 46th verse. All the purpose of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. Right? But they are not getting it. At the most, the Mayavadis, they say we are Vedavadratas. But they are also not getting Krishna. They're also ending up with God as an energy or power or divine power or whatever hazy languages people want to use in the name of being called as a great devotee. So they are not, they cannot be called as an Acharya. Acharya means one who is fully versed. Fully versed, not partially. Fully versed. Like Ramanujacharya. He's a Acharya. Prabhupada is Founder-Acharya. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada is Acharya. Madhava Chapter. So when somebody has Acharya attached to their name, we must understand, not like surname, not like a last name as Acharya, not like that, but it has to come from a parampara in the disciplic succession that somebody is the Acharya. Why? Because they have understood the purpose behind the Vedas and they are able to convince anybody and everybody who's coming in front of them, and they actually make everybody devotees of Krishna. That is an Acharya. But the Mayavadis are not Acharyas. They get lost in the middle. Somewhere they get stuck. Why they get stuck? Because you know why they get stuck? Do you know why they get stuck? Prabhupada analyzes. They get stuck because they are desiring liberation. They're doing all the sacrifices with the desire of attaining liberation. So that is definitely a higher desire, but still there is a desire. It's a desire. But a devotee wants only service to Krishna, does not want liberation also. Because they have a little bit of a desire that they want to be liberated from these material miseries, they get stuck. We must take lessons, okay? My preaching may not be so effective because I'm not a pure devotee, but every time we meet, I encourage all of you to please hear Srila Prabhupada. Please hear him. Or when we are reading his words, that is also associating with him. Or please read his books every single day. Don't let your time pass in this life without associating with the words of an acharya. It's not going to be. It's not going to be effective. We will not get to the goal. Okay, so Vedas. So one who must be intelligent enough to understand the purpose of the Vedas without being attached to the rituals only. People get very attached to ritual. Like there's a story, right? There's a story that Krishna Balram were roaming, were playing with the friends in Vrindavan, and the friends of Krishna Balram, they got hungry. They were hungry. So they said, Krishna, we are hungry. And Krishna said, oh, nearby these Brahmanas are doing such nice sacrifices. Do one thing, go and ask them, tell them that Krishna Balrama here and they are hungry. So give food. Okay, so boys go and tell the Brahmanas that Krishna Balrama here, they were performing sacrifices. Krishna Balrama here and they are hungry, please give them the food. So Brahmanas say that we cannot give food right now. We are still in the middle of the ritual. We have not offered the food yet in the sacrifice. So we cannot give it right now. So the Gopas, they get disappointed and they come back to Krishna Balram and they say, Krishna Balram, this happened. So then say, okay, no problem. Do one thing. Now you go to the wives of the Brahmanas and tell them that mother, Krishna Balrama here and they're hungry. And please give food. So the boys go to the wives of the Brahmanas in the house and they say, Krishna Balrama are hungry, please give us food. And the women, they immediately, oh, they are hungry? Okay, bring all the food. But the boys say, wait a minute, we just want to double check because your husband just told us that the food has not been offered yet in the sacrifice. Are you sure you want to do this? They said, yes. Krishna Balram is the ultimate aim of all the sacrifices, and they're directly asking, what is the need to offer anything anywhere else? So, very important. Don't get stuck to a ritual just for the sake of a ritual. Know the purpose behind it. Why am I doing it? That is why Krishna consciousness is called Buddhi Yoga. Intelligence is needed. But person who is a Vedanta scholar or so-called Vedanta scholar cannot because they understand this because there is no love for Krishna. Because they don't accept God as a person. How can you love energy? How can you just love a sky? I mean, how can you? Because you're a living entity. I tell you, okay, do one thing. You want to love someone, love the candle. When you burn the candle, love the flame of the candle. How can this is foolishness? Actually, 14th chapter of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion, Rupa Goswami Prabhupada writes there that Mayavadis are actually inimical to Krishna. They are envious of Krishna. And they are placed on the same platform as enemy of Krishna like Shishupal or Kansa. It's written there. I was amazed when I read it. That Mayavadis are envious of Krishna? Yes. Why? Because they cannot accept Krishna as he is. I'll do an experiment now. Okay, let's do this. I will stop my video. And now I'm taking the class. Okay, so now I'm speaking. And somebody who has never seen me just hears my voice may think that this Mataji is playing a recording and she is not a person. She is just a voice, energy. No person behind it, energy. Okay, but a more intelligent person will say, turn on your video, we want to see the person. That is the only difference. Such simple thing they cannot understand, and they make their life such a big melodrama of being a Vedanta scholar, but they have not come to the end of the Vedic wisdom because they are not devoted to Krishna yet. They have a chance though, and everybody has a chance, but they're not devoted yet. Why are they not devoted? Because I told you, they want to get liberated. That's a desire. It's a desire to get liberated. Okay. Mataji, is your question answered, Anvya Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. very well answered.
Prabhupada answers your question. Yes. Okay. Hey, who wants to read? We can do. Who's saying, Mataji, I have a doubt. You're writing privately to me. Sapna, yes. What is your doubt?
Actually, I had this doubt for so long. Once I went for this Krishna reading session, and in that class, one Mataji said that praying Krishna itself is more than enough. If we pray other deities, it's actually foolishness, they said. But what was my question is, Krishna is our favorite god, but we also have family gods, right, Mataji? So shouldn't we also pray family gods?
Yes, who's going to answer this question? There are many stalwart devotees in this class. They can answer this question. Yes, Sharmila Mataji. She's in 8th grade. Sapna is in 8th grade school. She's asking such a nice question.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Actually, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no need to worship other demigods. It's just like if you water the roots of a tree, the whole tree is fed. There is no need to separately feed the leaves, the branches, the stem, or the trunk. If you water the roots, the whole tree is satisfied. Also, similarly, you can take the example of your body. If you feed your stomach, the whole body is nourished. There is no need to individually feed and you can't also, like you can't satisfy your hand separately or fingers separately, all that. If you feed your stomach, the whole body will be nourished. Similarly, if you pray to Krishna, like other demigods are subordinates to him. If you please Krishna, automatically all the other demigods also are pleased. So this is my answer.
Very
Another doubt also, Mataji. So in our puja room where I do puja every day, there's a lot of, I have my favorite god Krishna and also my family god. Shouldn't we also light lamps for our family god or only to our favorite god Krishna?
Yes, please answer the question. What should you do? So, Sapna, we cannot tell you what you should do unless until you are ready to do. We can only talk about the principle in this class, okay? And the principle is, like Sharmila Mataji said, the principle is, I'll tell you a story. So the story is that once all the senses of the body, they went on strike. The eyes, the hands, the tongue, the ears, all went on strike. Why? Why they went on strike? Because they were all thinking that why we have to work and the stomach becomes the enjoyer. Hands were telling, I have to go grab the food. Legs were telling, I have to go walk to the place where there is food. The tongue was telling, I have to be the one tasting. The nose was telling, I have to be the one smelling whether it's rotten or not. So why is stomach the only enjoyer? Why? So they went on strike. They said, we are not going to serve the stomach anymore. Then what happened? What will happen if you don't feed the stomach? They grew weak. The senses grew weak. They started losing strength. The hands grew weak. And the tongue was dry because it was not getting the food. And eyes were getting weaker. Why? Because there was no nourishment. So they understood that actually through the stomach, we are all actually enjoying. So when we offer something to Krishna, we are enjoying through Krishna. All the demigods, all living entities, everybody else other than Krishna is just a manager. Yes, they are devotees we must respect. I'm not saying disrespect, but respect with an understanding of the position. Srila Prabhupada says, if you enter a company and you think that the clerk of the company is the same as the head of the or owner of the company, is that a very good intelligence? Yes, Sapna.
Yes, Mataji.
If you enter your school and then there is a clerk in the office of your school, and you think that that clerk in the office is the same as the principal of the school, is that a very good intelligence?
No.
everybody have their own position, right? Clerk is principal is like that. Krishna is the principal. Everybody else is managing the affairs. Everybody, all this God, that God, this God, whatever it is managing on behalf of Krishna the affairs of the material world. So you can show, we can show them respect, but we don't give them the devotion. That's different. Devotion means love. We don't love anyone else other than Krishna. And we love everybody else through Krishna. Everybody. So the principle remains the same. Krishna is the root of everything else. Yeah, but the problem I see here is, or the hesitation I see here in you is, there's a difficulty in accepting that how can Krishna be the only one? Which is fine. Which is fine. So you don't have to cancel out anybody, but at least you can change your prayers to your family God that please make me more Krishna conscious, which is fine. Okay?
Okay, Mataji, understood.
Okay, we can do this one. 47. Let's do. Who is going to chant? Yes, Vanshika Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफल हेतु भूर्मा ते संगोत्स्व कर्मणि. Should I read further?
Yeah, I'm bringing it up. Sorry. Yes.
Okay. You have a right to perform duty, your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself to be the cause of results of your activities and never be attached to not doing your duty. Purport. There are three considerations here: prescribed duty, capricious work, and inaction. Prescribed duty refers to the activities performed while one is in mode of material nature. Capricious work means action without the sanction of authority, and inaction means not performing one's prescribed duties. The Lord advised that Arjuna not to be inactive, but that he performs his prescribed duty without being attached to the result. One who is attached to the result of his work is also the cause of the action. Thus, he is the enjoyer or sufferer of the result of such action. As far as prescribed duties are concerned, they can be fitted into three subdivisions, namely routine work, emergency work, and desired action. Routine work in the terms of scriptural injunctions is done without desire for results, as one has to do it. Obligatory work is the action in the mode of goodness. The work with results become the cause of bondage. Therefore, such work is not auspicious. Everyone has his appropriatory right in regard to prescribed duties, but should act without attachment to the result. Such disinterested obligatory duties doubtlessly leads one to the path of liberation. Arjuna was therefore advised by the Lord to fight as a matter of duty without attachment to the result. His non-participation in the battle is another side of attachment. Such attachment never leads one to the path of salvation. Any attachment, positive or negative, is the cause for bondage. Inaction is sinful. Therefore, fighting as a matter of duty was the only auspicious path for salvation for Arjuna.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Very
Hare
nice. Krishna. So Krishna is first of all, Krishna is telling that Vedic knowledge is flowery. Then he says Vedas mainly deal with the three modes of nature. Very easy to get stuck, but the same purpose can be served by studying the Vedas, who knows the purpose behind the study itself, which is to know Krishna. And then he is coming back to the circle that Krishna Arjuna, you have a right. You need to know what you have a right to do and what you don't have a right. You need to know your rights, right? So the right, your right belongs in working. You are entitled to work. That much power you have. But what is going to be the result? You're not entitled. Actually, you're not entitled. But if you want to become entitled, then you become entangled also. Which is true. If I do an activity and I want to be the enjoyer, then I have to be the sufferer also. I cannot just be the enjoyer of anything. It comes with suffering. It is packed. Any activity. Let's say I want to become a doctor. Okay. So, matlab, I want to become a doctor. That means I want to enjoy that designation. Okay, but then I have to take up the suffering also. I have to go through the training. I have to spend hours and hours of studying. I have to, not be available to the world for many other things. So the suffering that many of us in this classroom can relate to. Vidisha Mataji or Anvya Mataji her son is in training for medicine. So Mataji, your son wants to be a doctor. You want him to be a doctor, but he's suffering also, right?
Yes, Mataji, and now because of COVID duty, they are become real victims. They are the frontline warriors. All the head of units and all, they are not coming.
That is so wrong. But yes, so see, we want to enjoy, but then we have to take the suffering also. Like that, work on anything. I want to eat spicy food. Somebody can say, I love spicy food. Okay, you want to enjoy spicy food, but then you have to suffer also. Eat spicy food every day and get ulcers in the whole of the intestine. So it will not come just with the pure enjoyment. So better not to become entangled. Better to work in such a way that you work but you don't get entangled. Isn't it great? No one else talks about it. No other literature talks about this, that work but don't get entangled, because that is only going to happen if I am working for Krishna. It's not going to happen anything else. And who will teach me how to work for Krishna? Because I am taught how to work for my own self in the university, in the society, in the family. I am taught how to work for myself. But who will teach me how to I work for Krishna? Spiritual master. Guru Sadhu Shastra will teach. That is why we need to go to somebody who can teach us, because they're themselves doing it. Okay, so the Prabhupada is describing different kinds of works: prescribed duty, capricious work, and inaction. But prescribed duties is okay, we have to do it, but do it just because. This is also called regulative bhakti, Vedehi bhakti. That, for example, getting up early in the morning. Getting up early in the morning is painful for some people, but just do it because you're asked to do it. But by doing it, there comes a stage in life when somebody spontaneously gets up. That now I am attached to this Mangalarti program. Let me get up. Let me go wake up the deities. Let me offer them arti. Let me offer them sweets. So that is the benefit of working under the shelter of an acharya. That disinterested obligatory duty actually is living entity later in the life. I think people are here from the 3 p.m. class. Right, Sri Lakshmi, I saw her.
Yes,
Sri
yes, Mataji. For Kirtan, we had joined actually.
Yes, thank you so much for joining. I will end another 3-4 minutes, and then you can take over. Is that okay?
Yes, Mataji.
We have joined for
Yes,
Kirtan.
Mataji. Yeah, actually, in the group it had come. We may not have Kirtan today as class is going on.
Kirtan, I'm just gonna take another 2-3 minutes.
Okay, okay, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, waiting for the Kirtan, Mataji.
Okay, thank you. So I just want to do this with you all. I have not taken up this third offense in a long time. What did I open? Sorry. The third offense against the holy name. Does anyone has any question? Because I was able to do this third offense in Saturday class. Anybody has any question, or can I go ahead and do about this third offense? Can someone tell me what is the first offense to the holy name? Very quickly.
Mataji, it is mad elephant offense.
Very nice. What is the offense?
It is to blaspheme a Vaishnava.
Yes. So, to blaspheme the devotees of the Lord who have dedicated their lives for the propagation of the holy name of Krishna. Very nice. Who's this? What is the second offense? Yes. Second offense. Sangeeta Mataji, Sharmila Mataji, Sakshi Mataji. Second offense.
Hare Krishna.
One second. Sorry, there were too many voices. Yes. What is the second offense?
Hare Krishna. To consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of the Lord Vishnu.
Yes, it's an offense to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the holy name of Krishna. Third offense is to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. This is the third offense. So there are two kinds of spiritual master. I think you all know Diksha Guru and Siksha Guru. Siksha Guru we can have more than one Siksha Guru. Siksha Guru is a person who themselves are trying to be Krishna conscious. They are serious about their own journey. Plus, they also teach. They teach. They help. They are mentors, more like mentor. And we can have more than one Siksha Guru. And Diksha Guru is the person who can be only one, but they give initiation and connect. They're connector. They connect to the parampara. Interestingly, Diksha Guru and Siksha Guru have to be honored equally. We cannot say just because this person is a mentor and that person is my direct spiritual master, I will give less of respect to this person. No, it's an offense. That is an offense if we do that. Okay, so Diksha Guru is the one who gives initiation into chanting of the mantra. Siksha Guru can be many, gives instructions about the Supreme Personality of Godhead and other individual souls and other spiritual topics as well. So both should be honored equally. This is a nutshell offense, and it is more detailed described in this book called Harinam Chintamani by Bhaktivedanta Thakur Prabhupada. He describes it more detail over there. Okay, but in a nutshell, one must have both. We cannot actually advance in Krishna consciousness without the absence of either one of them. So next week, can we please have class on Saturday? I work Saturday night, so Sunday morning I won't be able to take class from the hospital. Mataji, you can stop recording, Harshita Mataji. Thank you so much. Can we have class on Saturday next week